Did you know? In the 1960s, the neo-rationalist movement emerged in Italy, led by architects in Milan and Venice who sought a new architectural order amid political unrest. They drew from the 1930s rationalist movement, favoring simple geometric forms and regional influences, while rejecting modernism's focus on function and technology. This documentary explores the work of Aldo Rossi, a leading neo-rationalist, whose ideas on architecture and collective memory are central to his book, The Architecture of the City. Aldo Rossi was an influential Italian architect and theoretician, renowned for his exploration of architecture's relationship with collective memory. In his seminal works, such as the Cuneo Monument, San Cataldo Cemetery in Modena, and the Galleries housing complex in Milan, Rossi emphasized the importance of historical continuity and urban typology. His writings, particularly in The Architecture of the City, advocate for architecture that draws from the cultural memory of a place, creating spaces that resonate with both the past and present. Aldo Rossi drew inspiration from Adolf Loos's aphorism, "If we find a mound 6 feet long and 3 feet wide in the forests, formed into a pyramid shaped by a shovel, we become serious, and something says, 'Someone lies buried here.' That is architecture." Rossi admired how Loos's statement highlighted the intrinsic power of simple forms and their ability to evoke profound human emotions and memories. The aphorism inspired one of Rossi's early works, an unbuilt monument in Cuneo dedicated to the Italian partisans who resisted fascism during World War II. The design is a 12-meter open cube with steep steps leading to a small, roofless urban room at the city's edge, aligned with a piazza. Its thin concrete edges make the structure appear to float, and a narrow window frames views of the surrounding fields and mountains, the very territory fought for by the partisans. Rossi spent his career exploring the relationship between architectural elements and the broader discipline. He concluded that the architectural type is the foundation of architecture. Types recur across history, forming the city's structure and evolving through time. In The Architecture of the City, Rossi discusses how urban types, or permanences, endure despite changes in use, like the Roman amphitheater at Lucca, which transformed from a quarry to a market and then to housing, while retaining its original form. Rossis Cemetery of San Cataldo in Modena, his most famous project, reflects these ideas. Built next to a 19th century cemetery by Cesare Costa, it consists of 3 main architectural types: a large, roofless cube with repetitive square windows, triangular-shaped ossuaries, and a prominent truncated cone. The cube serves multiple functions, while the cone, the highest structure, houses the remains of the indigent, reversing the typical hierarchy of older cemeteries. The stark walls around the cemetery, with unframed openings and a steep triangular roof, draw from various references, such as Etruscan funerary urns and Rossi's own earlier work. The cemetery embodies Rossi's concept of an analogous city, where graves are houses for the dead, and monuments echo the permanent structures of a city. The architectural elements, shadows, and forms create a sense of continuity with both ancient and modern references, as seen in Rossi's careful use of shadow in his drawings. Aldo Rossi's work challenges us to see architecture not just as a functional practice, but as a vessel of memory and history. His exploration of architectural types and urban permanences invites us to consider how spaces can connect the past with the present, creating a dialogue that continues to shape our cities and our collective experience.